Welcome, welcome, welcome. In the lair of the dragon, we're gonna rock and roll. Special double trouble. It is 1:56 p.m. We're gonna rock and roll for the Empire. For the Empire, let's flex a little bit. And on a fitness journey. The fitness journey continues, and yours truly in the lair of the dragon, Montreal. 77 pounds down, a few years on the fitness journey, and continues. And I do encourage all to work out, train, exercise. Working out, training, and exercising has been, is, and shall continue to be my medicine and therapy of choice. From the lair of the dragon, we're going to put some coffee, but first I'm going to say my gratitude. Grateful, thankful on this 25th of November. Grateful, thankful that my rent's paid, electricity bill's paid, and got food and coffee. And grateful for this mug. And thank you, farmers, farmers, farmers. I just cooked some pasta. And food security starts with our beloved farmers in the farms across Quebec, La Belle Province, Canada, coast to coast truckers, butchers, nurses, doctors, grocery store clerks, rocking for the public works, crew changing of the aqueducts, the sewers, rock and roll for them 24/7, calling all willing and loving to support the dream of this independent Aspie artist, athlete, philosopher, geopolitical analyst, androgynous, pansexual rainbow dragon who's a philosopher. Not perfect, far from it. Got some missions, got some vices, but rock and roll 24/7. They support this independent artist Aspie with philosopher, geopolitical analyst, and theorist, and of course, independent artist and athlete with Asperger's and amnesia, focal retrograde amnesia, that special amnesia, focal retrograde amnesia. Cannot remember things outside life, outside of this island, and what I do know is mostly the work. During those past years, you can see hundreds of my workout training program videos, of which I have created my own workout training program video back in 2019, and rock and roll and creative open for business 24/7, financially struggling. $10,000 in debt. And grateful. Thank you, farmers, truckers, meditating with the truckers today. Meditation special on Sabbath while calling all willingly loving to support my dream, manifesting as the dancing goddess in the Dragon Kingdom. My call for a public-private partnership across the collective North American civilization, and of course, it is Sabbath on this Saturday. My brothers and sisters, encourage you all to work out, train, exercise. Working out, training, and exercising has been, is, and shall continue to be my medicine and therapy of choice. And please, millionaires, billionaires, support the dream. And if you make a millionaire, a millionaire, billionaire, finance specifically the children, for the children, for the children, for the youth. This holiday season, that Christmas, that's coming, and the New Year's finance done, please. I'm willing to do some volunteering to load some trucks, deliver some trucks, because I know the neighborhoods. As a matter of fact, where I used to live, if I would be a millionaire, billionaire, I would deliver some candies, some chocolates, some toys to the children that live in my old neighborhood. I moved a little bit out. It's better where I live now, but where I used to live, there was a lot of mold, probably, and chronic illness from my, I don't know, from my diaries and journals struggling with chronic illness and having survived a mortal head wound, which I don't remember, and have amnesia, focal retrograde amnesia. So I don't remember. It's like 7 years, 7 years, 7 years, and I used to live in a place where there was lots of mold, and also on the ground. This is way better than I used to live. Although want something better than here, this is way better than I used to live. And of course, to have open doors, I would have a place bigger than this. But nonetheless, when I go to the mountain, that's open doors because that's public, and I'm all about public and private partnership. Support the dream, the dancing goddess and the dragon kingdom, for the empire, for the empire, for the empire, the dragon empire, for the people, for securing liberty with some joy and harmony. And if I would have a radio show, television, that would be one radio hour where I will now say gratitude, thank you, and sending love to the firefighters, farmers, butchers, truckers, nurses, doctors, and getting us some help. Need some push-ups, need some hugs. I got kisses. I got laying the foundation with 718 trillions of kisses credited from the GODDSS. I said goddess. GODDSS, through that goddess, dancing goddess army, and the dragon army, complementary covenant and cooperative institutions that I'm calling the creation thereof, for rock and roll with a little bit of rap, always rap. RAP for the farmers, thank you for food security starts with them, and we're seeing lots of strikes, been a lot of strike season, and of course I'm for the workers. I'm a centrist, pro labor and love, universal revolutionary centrist, an artist, athlete with Asperger's. I might repeat, say things twice or three times. I perhaps approach people too close for comfort, and I do have Asperger's. I'm an Aspie. I repeat things just like many symptoms of Asperger's, and when I discuss topics of interest, we have obsessions. My main three obsessions as an Aspie is geopolitics, civilizations, and sports. Dancing is my favorite sport. Fitness, The world's greatest living dancing millennial rainbow poet, androgynous man, sexual who loves BDSM switch. No need to spy me, CSIS, CSIS. Stasi are gone after 1989 when the Berlin Wall fell in November. But KGB, FSB, whatever the case, CIA, Mossad. I'm not perfect, far from it. Got some issues, got some vices, and of course, I do have trillions of kisses. I'm laying the foundation of the empire, the first kingdom to be first and credited with 700 trillions of kisses. Kisses I got, some push-ups, some hugs with consent. Hug like you never hugged before is the main message with consent. Hug like you never hugged before is the main message. 20 minutes, 30 minutes, like a period of hockey. Football, NFL, please give some charity. Triple the cheerleaders' salaries. Pro labor and love, universal revolutionary centrist whose favorite color is red. And who's a rainbow dragon? Not perfect, far from it. I do believe first and foremost with fervor and passion in my trinity of theories. That's why I'm calling all governments, institutions, and corporations across the collective North American civilization across North America, because us Quebecers, Canadians, my brothers and sisters in the USA, was born twice in the United States of America. Dawei South served both times in the United States Army. You heard that right, post 1776, served both times in the United States Army. So, speaking from the heart, my American brothers and sisters, who I consider family and cousins, because I was born in the USA, post 1776, auctioning this flag. Or a million. Gonna give half to my anonymous sister friend, greatest woman I know. If I make a million, gonna give her half a billion, gonna give her half a trillion, gonna give her half. Every penny, every dollar. For the kingdom. Money, what is money anyways? To buy, sell, trade. Do trade and engage in building and maintaining civilization. And buy services and goods. That is what money is for. Buy, sell, exchange goods, services, and exchange goods, services. And I create. I do firmly believe in my theory called the DRT, the debt refusion theory, where we are in the 21st century, record public and private debts reaching levels, record-breaking levels of public debt and private debt. I do firmly believe in my DRT. The DRT theory is a theory, debt refusion theory, which I have written in the past years. I say I spent many years starting with chronic illness, and now during this COVID, I am healing. As I say, I always spend some years with one foot in the streets, one foot in the libraries, and where I read tens of thousands of books on philosophy, poetry, art, and all things of civilization, and where I've written tens of thousands of pages on philosophy, on theory and finance, and my DRT theory, the DRT, the debt refusion theory. That's what I'm calling my astrological brother, Scorpios. Joe Biden, Bill Gates, Joe Biden, Bill Gates, Joe Biden, Bill Gates to come support the DRT. The debt refusion theory, DRT, so take all public and private debt, refuse it in order to create the UE, the Universal Exchange, and preferably by digital, with all institutions and organizations, social media, Facebook, Microsoft, Google, and of course the governments of Canada, US, and Mexico, and our brothers and sisters who are part of North America, Haiti, Cuba, and the collective North American civilization, and NATO, NORAD, for this new alliance of the Dream, which is a fundamental public-private partnership, the Dancing Goddess and the Dragon Kingdom for the Empire, the Dragon Empire, which I'm calling all to support, willingly loving it, which I'm laying the foundations first and foremost with 718 trillions of kisses. That I'm laying the foundations with 718 trillions of kisses, and I feel much better. Of course, I was a bit moody. I woke up a bit moody. I said, what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna start cooking. I started feeling better, still my gratitude, thinking about the farmers, the truckers, the butchers, the nurses, and those struggling financially, and those who have survived being depressed and suicidal like myself. I've conquered depression, and I said, I'm gonna be grateful. And I masturbated a bit. I masturbated a little bit. Sexual healing, sexual health, super important. Sexual healing, sexual health. I like BDSM switch, so no need to spy on me. Whatever it is, also I put disclaimers in my videos can contain hard raw, and I'm open about it. And if you are to have liberty, we gotta have secured liberty, and liberty, freedom is something new. Although they got freedom tattooed there, it needs to be insured, secured. And I admit, by my solo, I'm not able to lift the sword of freedom. It's a heavy, double-edged, very small. Very few of us are. Freedom has got to be secured, insured, and our natures, my own natures, I do admit that I do have aggression. My brothers and sisters, I have aggression, but I channel it. I work out, I train, I exercise. I work out, I train, I exercise. I work out, I train, I exercise. I work out and I train to harm no other citizen. As a citizen of Quebec, Canada, North America, I can be a world citizen, world peace, but fundamentally, all I really know, without having amnesia, focal retrograde amnesia, as much as I studied about the world, and I'm a great geopolitical thinker and philosopher, all I really know is this island right here. The island of Montreal, Canada, surrounded by a river, and that the King the Sun is my Pope, the Sun is my Pope, the Sun is my King, the Pope, and being a non-sectarian Thelemite, that Aleister Crowley, my father, is the greatest ever poet who will ever be a poet, none like defeated, and as a universal spiritual teaching student, have so many questions. I have so many questions, so many things I don't know. I lust, I get moody, get upset. I conquered depression. I did conquer depression. Being depressed and suicidal when I crossed Canada coast to coast. A few years ago, I think 6 years ago, cross Canada coast to coast, I got out of the depression. So many things to see in Quebec, Canada, to experience. Peggy's Cove. Peggy's Cove. I went to Peggy's Cove. I said, wow, so much beauty. Canada, admire with Musket, coast to coast. So much beauty, coast to coast, Canada. That is to see. So I got out of depression. I started working out, training, and exercising. I was obese, depressed, suicidal. I dealt, I accepted during this COVID. I survived COVID. For me, COVID was like death, pestilence, and disease. And I say I'm being reborn during this COVID. With every push up, every squat, nothing that I want to go back to. So I want to advance, move forward with a new light, new liberation, my own sexual liberation. I've been in the open being LGBTQ. Consider myself androgynous, pansexual, being rainbow dragon, and of course with consent and hygiene, super important, consent and hygiene. Yeah, I get dirty but I get back clean, royal legal lofty. Yeah, I get dirty but I get back clean, royal legal lofty. Yeah, I get dirty but I get back clean, royal legal regal lofty. And of course, far from being perfect, I admit my own, I do admit at some things I am mediocre, at some things I am so-so, at some things I am average. While I am so-so at some things, average at other things, so-so, average, mediocre at some things, I am great, super, and excellent at some other things. You see, being having Asperger's, perhaps. The paradox. See, I'm an Aspie, so I repeat things. The paradox is, of course, that my focus, because like many Asperger's, when we are involved in those things which we have obsessions and intense about subjects, we are very restricted to certain subject. My we Aspie obsessions are geopolitics, sports, fitness, sports 24/7, and of course things of civilizations, and within that religion studies and rock and roll stuff like that, rock and roll religious studies. So I lost a lot of friends in the years. In the past 7 years, I made quite a lot of friends. Never called back, never this and that. I accepted my Asperger's. I have Asperger's. That's it. That's all. I rock and roll and not perfect. I like my BDSM switch. I like to get dirty but get back clean. And we have things which we work on. We work on a constant basis. Emotions, feelings matter. We cannot base our entire civilization. So I'm founding the empire with kisses first and foremost. I want to get hugs. I want to give hugs and be hugged. I like physicality, the spirituality to go hand in hand. The holiness of the coffee of the body, not to be rejected but understood, our natures and how we differ and where we can make compromises. It's all about reconciliation. My native brothers and sisters, native Indians, and some brothers and sisters, my black brothers and sisters of North America, we made the linguistic and the racial, I believe in one human race, but we made this compromise, right? Years and years and years ago, and we continue it. Sometimes it's not easy, but just gonna pour myself a cup of coffee and continue the revelations that they continue on an ongoing basis. And of course, meditating on all civilization. And my brothers and sisters, civilization is a privilege, right? That is my thesis as the people's doctor. And say that civilization is a privilege, right? Gonna salute the Hydro-Quebec workers who built all the dams so that now I do this video when I cook, when I heated my coffee, and watching the video later on with clean, zero pollution, zero emission energy. They just opened a new complex at La Romaine, right? Gonna rock and roll for Hydro-Quebec to build 7 more dams in the coming 7 years. I'm a fan. I rock and roll for the Hydro-Quebec construction workers, farmers. I rock and roll for them, artists for the farmers, butchers, bakers, nurses, doctors, grocery store clerks. Public-private partnership is all that I'm about, right? You know, love is also action. So laying the foundations of my empire, our empire, across the collective North American civilization for my rebirth and for North American rebirth. North Americans unite. We gotta create that UE, Universal Exchange Unit. So the DRT, my theory, debt refusion to take all public and private debt. I believe we gotta do it. Create the UE, Universal Exchange Unit, based on the US dollar, and create what in the Euro did. And if Europe, NATO, NORAD, NATO want to join, can join an alliance and create the two complementary covenant and cooperative institutions. I firmly believe, based on my philosophies and ideas, as an independent philosopher, independent artist, independent athlete, encouraging you to work out, train, exercise, and again, reminder, your fitness journey begins today now. I've been depressed, suicidal, heal. So liberation, it's hard to admit sometimes. Feelings matter, right? Important the emotions. We cannot base everything just on strength, force, fire. We gotta have kindness. We gotta got goodness. We gotta have understanding. We gotta have love. Why? Because these are things of civilization which we have as human beings, which are complex natures. As for spirituality, the sun for me, that's my pope. Now rises and now sets. Now the sun always rises and always sets. You see the emblem of the DGA Dancing Goddess Army. I bought that second hand. Paid, I believe, $7, $7 for it a few years ago. Maybe during COVID, it's 3.5 years ago. I had COVID February 2020. It was like death, pestilence, and disease. Like death, pestilence, and disease. It was like death, pestilence, and disease. I'm being reborn in new practices and public-private partnership. I believe best. My DRT, CIT, citizen integration theory, democratic fusion theory, that trinity of theories, to be implemented via the fourth dimension. That fourth dimension is love. Love is also action. So if it's not love, thinking about the farmers now, thinking about the farmers, all the farming during COVID, truckers, butchers, bakers, those baking bread, those in the fast foods, preparing a hamburger, a cheeseburger, whatever it is. I can always get a cheeseburger, right? I struggle with things. I'm a year off porn. I haven't watched porn in November. Think more than a year now. It's almost a year, 13 months now. I stopped watching. You go online, somebody posts a link to pornography. I was tempted to click on it. I didn't click. So I use my own imagination. I'm not against it morally from a perspective, but please give the actors a little bit more of that. The money. What is money? To buy, sell goods, services. I firmly believe in the creation of the universal exchange unit. The UE, the Universal Exchange Unit, based on my DRT theory, debt fusion theory, citizen integration theory, and the democratic fusion theory, that trinity of theories, for the creation of the two complementary covenant and cooperative institutions. Dragan Army, officially the North American Citizen Integrated Defense, only to be coast to coast, only for emergency responses, for defense, and to provide services. And have a new economy of services. These are my dream, which has been manifesting and written about it during the past 7 years or so. Because if I go back more than 8 years, my memory, I don't remember sort of this island much. I remember mostly the past years. Maybe it was COVID that caused it. Usually, it's what causes amnesia is the onset of a trauma. And I have writings about a head trauma, head wound, which I've written, which kind of mysterious. Black sword of something, but not really sure. So there's some mysteries to it, and just like mystery of the sun, right? It's my Pope. The sun now rises and now shines. Now the sun sets and rises. Somewhere every second in the world, the sun rises and now sets. That's my Pope. I believe in reincarnation. There's a universal spiritual teaching student who has lots of questions. If I can bring joy to somebody, just ask policy. Just ask. I can have differences, we can settle them by putting the gloves, but first I'm gonna fight Tyson Fury. I'm willing to get in the ring with Tyson Fury in November. This is November 25th now. By December 23rd, I'll get fit enough to get in the ring. Gotta give me a month. So it's in a month from now, December 23rd. So the day after, I can give a little bit of charity to some children. Bring some joy to the kids by spending a million. If I have some millions and billions, I will give to the children some goods, buy them and deliver them dressed in Santa Claus. That's another initiative, another dream that I have. I'm willing to volunteer. It's a lot of blah blah blah. Blah blah. That's we gotta clean. I got a lot of cleaning myself to do. Still, I need support. I need help. Pledge your allegiance, legions, thou art family. All my allies and armies, AAs, thou art family. All my allies and armies, thou art family. Pledge your allegiance, legions, thou art family, AA. Rock and roll 24/7, Rainbow Dragon, cross coast to coast. That way is the Atlantic, Ile la Madeleine, that way is the Pacific. Vancouver, now it's minus 3 hours, it's 11:17 in Vancouver. San Francisco, a city where I roamed in a past life. Go 49ers, triple the cheerleader salaries. I want 49ers to take the lead. Triple times three the cheerleader salaries. Dancing is my favorite sport. For me, my only cheerleaders are the crows at the moment. I love black crows. I love black crows. I love black crows. They always say, "We know your secrets. We know that once a week, 24 hours, you're a queen and a king of spades, dragon, rainbow, dragon. We know your secrets. That's once a week. You're a king and a queen of spades, dragon, dragon. We know your secret that once a week." You're a queen and a king of spades. Yes, guilty. I love BDSM, switch. No need to spy on me. Stasi are gone. Musa, FSB, KGB, FSB, KGB, KGB. Now is FSB. CSIS, Canadian Security Intelligence Service. CSIS, Canadian Security Intelligence Service. CSIS. Mossad. You have to have freedom. Freedom is, we're working on it. I have differences when I step outside. I have added responsibilities, duties, and obligations as a citizen of Quebec, Canada, La Province, which I'm asking my Prime Minister, my Uncle Legault, which sometimes I'm 50-50 with Legault, 70-30, 90-10, perhaps sometimes 100%. I love my French. I speak French. You see me rock and roll. I write songs every day in French, poetry in English and French, like Celine Dion. Like Celine Dion. Celine Dion is not the only Quebec we have. We have Louis Cyr, we have Hydro Dance, we have Montreal, the greatest city on, for me, one of the greatest cities. It's my home. I rep my hometown, and pretty much is all I remember this island, my struggles, my sufferings. And here we are drilling at 2:18 p.m. November 25th, doing a video for YouTube independent Aspie, artist, athlete, philosopher, geopolitical analyst, and theorist, Rainbow Dragon who has amnesia. But what I remember most is the studies in the past years, and my workout training and exercising, and all the workout training and exercising which yours truly has done. And my rebirth, and I will for our rebirth is together, which sometimes it's not easy. We got issues, and I'm not totally selfless either. To be totally selfless, I'm not self-righteous. Yes, I want something better for myself, for my allies and armies. I want more love and prosperity and wealth, and to rebirth and to have joy. It brings me joy to see others' joy as well. Sometimes we have that lower self, which we have to admit, myself included. I have the lower self. I sometimes feel more jealous. He gets more attention, gets more money, more wealth, more this and that, and more opportunities, and more that. We have it. That's supposed to be more balanced and equilibrium. Because if I don't, then in myself, then I won't be able to admit it. And if whatever it is, sexual liberation, it has not come without blood, sweat, and tears for myself, right? And so I like BDSM switch. Yes. What does that mean? Well, you can just ask. I gave a few details in a past video. I'm about details, and in this life I'm an artist, athlete, philosopher. In a parallel life I'm a super scientist. In a parallel life I'm a super scientist. In a parallel life I'm a super scientist who makes satellites, supercomputers, microchips, and all things about ICBM rockets and satellites. Let's build more satellites. Elon Musk, coast to coast, for the public monetization and surveillance, and providing services with the Dragon Army and the Dancing Goddess Army to dance and to have educational videos and encouraging citizens to do better recycling and for Mother Nature. And here we're grateful we have. Thank you, Public Works. Gotta be mindful of those public workers. We got 3 services based on the public. We got the recycling. They're picking up the recycling every week, picking up the garbage every week, picking up the compost every week. 3 services. Gotta salute them. Gotta rock and roll for them. Somebody gotta rock and roll for them. Garbage collectors. Uh, love you and thank you for your service. And don't know their salaries. Maybe they need an increase, but I do believe in my financial theory, the DRT, debt refusion theory, in order to refuse all debt, public and private, and have a recess or public private, and create what I call the UE. Stands for Universal Exchange Unit. That'll be for security and service, coast to coast, ocean to ocean. North Americans unite and for world peace with our brothers and sisters, allies outside. But first and foremost, as much as I'm a world citizen, I am a North American. I'm a Canadian Quebecer who loves French, who's not perfect, who believes in reincarnations, many past lives, many past incarnations. Right here, born as a Quebecer on the island, Helped Louis Cyr push some carts on a truck. Well, it wasn't a truck like in the modern day trucks, but a kind of a cart, more of a cart, but with coverings and made by somebody here in Quebec. So this is my home, North America. I personally do not consider myself, view myself a member of a diaspora. This is my home, Montreal, Canada, Quebec, and a citizen of the world, the planet as well. I want for humanity's betterment. I want the best for humanity, but we have civilizations and we have our differences, and I predicted, paradoxically, maybe because of my obsessions, as somebody who has Asperger's, I predicted the current situation, geopolitical situation which we live in. In 2019, I've done a deep, thorough search and educational research and in geopolitics, and have researched, I've studied the Second World War, the First World War, the Cold War, which lasted 44 years. The Cold War lasted from 1947 to 1991. 1991, in December 25th, Gorbachev got the dissolution of the Soviet Union. The Gorbachev got the dissolution of the Soviet Union on the 25th of December. 25th of December, that was the dissolution of the Soviet Union. And December 25th, right, 1991, that was when the Soviet Union was dissolved. From 1947 till 1991, that's 44 years of the Cold War, which ended in 1991 and began more or less about 1947, about whatever month, in March 1947, after the Second World War, basically. So that 44 years of the Cold War, many nuclear, I researched, studied, and then the U.S.-China trade war began by the Trump administration in 2018, then other major events, but this was a major event. So I took that into consideration. I said humanity were again set on a path, on a concord towards an international conflagration. And as an independent fitness captain, created my own workout training program system, the Dragan Army workout, street name code 300 workout, the General War Integrated Total Body Training System, 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 the Dragon Army workout, 300 workout. So I'm calling for the union, public-private partnership with security and service for the 21st century, my brothers and sisters. We made a compromise. We made it so far. In North Americans. And my theory, my philosophy, my research, back then I said I've sounded the alarm. I said we're on the set towards World War III. So I have a World War III scenario to go hand in hand with my workout training program system, which is effective, efficient, and simple, requires no equipment. And what it does, it increases general overall fitness. My workout increases general overall fitness. My workout increases general overall fitness. What my workout does increases general overall fitness. General overall fitness. It increases general overall fitness and then maintains it. So when I done 300 workouts, September 2020, 2022, last year, I say I officially turned my A of my surname into an O. Dragon became Dragon. Because nobody's born a dragon. That's the motto of the Dragon Army. I'm not born a dragon. Blood, sweat, and tears to become one. And you need to be able to do my workout. That would be the official examination requirement. Other things, we can have pardons, right? I also believe in legalizing some drugs. I'm not a drug user. I'm not a drug user. Matter of fact, it's been like more than 13 months. I have legal cannabis joints, and I still have them, and haven't smoked. It's been a while I haven't smoked, and I like a little bit of wine, like a little bit of beer, but I'm not a drug user. But I believe in legalizing some, like speed and cocaine. I believe in legalizing cocaine. I believe we could make a deal with, at least make a deal to legalize cocaine and standardize it, sanitize it, sanitize them. I'm obsessed about public hygiene. I'm in public, right? Because when we step in public, we have added responsibilities, duties, and obligations. Right here in my dragon's lair now, I can get naked, close the blinds, because there's passerbys, I cannot expose my naked body. There's things in the public and the private which we make compromises, right? Right? It's a compromise, the public, the private. The collective North American civilization, us North Americans, we made so many compromises, and it's worked. Now, in the past years, the system has tensions, and it's not working. I believe my public-private partnership, the dream manifesting as the Empire, the dancing goddess and the dragon. Kingdom, empire for the people. The kingdom for the people. A public-private partnership. To implement my Trinity theories, the CIT citizen integration theory, DRT, that fusion theory, and the democratic fusion theory. That Trinity theory is to be implemented via a fourth dimension love. First empire to be founded first and foremost by 718 trillions of kisses. Right? Infinite stars just head above. Non-sectarian though. My brothers and sisters, we can. At least for us here, North Americans. I have in my neighborhood. Some of my neighbors are Mexican. I learned Spanish in the past years. My Mexican brothers and sisters. My to the. I also have black neighbors. We also said hello. Got a look at harmonious relation. Probably they say I'm a bit cuckoo. I have gestures. I have weird ritualized like a ritual like gestures. I do. Well, weird. So I'm an Aspian. Sometimes I dance to the sun. I dance to the sun, to the stars, and X Y Z. But I'm not dangerous. Only danger and force strength needs to be used for myself for defense, and our liberation, my healing. Forgive me if I harm anybody. I say stupid things sometimes. I apologize. I apologize. I'm not perfect, and just let me know. And give people warnings. Give people warnings. Give people warnings. Second chances. Everybody deserves second, third chances. Even a little bit of redemption for myself, for others, for you and me. Right. And my brothers and sisters are who lose their liberty and are incarcerated. I said liberty is freedom. I got it. FRE down. Freedom. Freedom. So from I don't remember, but from what I know from my writings, I got this in New York. So I don't know because I don't remember that far. With amnesia, but I got this in New York City, supposedly close to where the 9/11 was, and supposedly from the journals, the person had a 9/11 commemoration tattoo. The tattoo artist had a 9/11 commemoration tattoo on his bicep. It said "send back to sender." It said send back to sender," and whatever it is, 9/11 is still questions about 9/11 and the four planes. 1193, flight 77, flight 175, right? Flight 175, flight 11, flight 93, flight 77. So I was speaking about that, an omen, the American flag. An omen just slid down. Auctioning this for $1 million. Give half to my anonymous sister, pay my $10,000 debt, auctioning this flag for $1 million. That's an omen. We need to work with our brothers and sisters in the USA. When I was born in the United States of America, post 7076, served in the USR twice. You mean third citizen would need to do what? The Dragon Army, Dancing Goddess Kingdom, North American Democratic Republic, the 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 North American Democratic Republic. That's the Quebec flag. We have new flags, but also incorporating the stars of the USA, the Mexican flag, the Quebec flag, the Canada flag. A new flag, Dancing Goddess Army. I put the sun, seven-pointed stars, and the dragon together. Not perfect. Far from it. Got issues, vices. Not without flaws, Not without moodiness. Get moody sometimes. Get moody, upset, but feeling much better in these past years, and I'm grateful, thankful. Here, where I live now, is better than where I used to live. There was a lot of mold there. It's chronic illness, 60, probably because of the mold and illness, of that amnesia. So I don't remember much far back, this island and healing and having COVID. And supposedly now there's a new wave in China. From the last 48 hours, there's some mysterious respiratory illness in China that, of course, has become and is maybe coming and might affect us, but we don't know. But I encourage all for public hygiene. It's important, public hygiene. I get dirty myself, but I have to get public high clean. And so when we step outside, we got added responsibilities, duties, and obligations, which we don't have in our own underground room office and temple. Right? It's there's tension, it's conflict, we have conflicts. We can reconciling to be a compromise. I believe my Trinity of theories is best at this moment. And channeling the aggression, which I admit I have aggression, my brothers and sisters, but I work out, I train, I exercise, I do sports. I go to the mountain, right? So that I harm no other citizen. I work out, I train, I exercise. Something that I do. It's important to channel. That's why we got so many sports, right? To be frustrated and moody, it's emotions, feelings that matter. We want to be loved a certain way and can't express it, or we are ashamed and feel guilty, and you know. So being LGBTQ, X, Y, Z, it happens. I'm not without flaws. I need to do cleaning on myself, and gotta do some cleaning in my room, cleaning in. When I go to the mountain, I always feel better. The air is fresh there. I've been toxic. I have toxicity even now as I speak, right? Got toxicity. Regular physical exercise is one of my medicines therapy, and I have been and will call. I've been calling for years in my workouts online and for a public-private partnership. I believe to finance my brothers and sisters who are millionaires, billionaires in the NFL, National Football League, NHL, National Hockey League, NBA, National Basketball Association, MLB. Give some charity to the women's sports leagues, right? Because they don't make even close economically, financially to what the aforementioned four major sports leagues make. The NFL, National Football League, average salary millions. NBA, National Basketball salaries is the highest. So the NBA, the average. So some make more, some make less. 7.7 million. The women's sports leagues, how much do they make? Not even close, right? They make in the tens of thousands only. Just give to charity, right? I mean, we can discuss blah blah. And I'm not selfless, totally. I try to be selfish in the middle, balanced. The self and the selfish. Because if I'd say, oh, no, I don't have some selfish desires and lusts, I would be deluding myself. I would not be self-righteous prick. I do, but I try to be balanced. Ain't no way that if I would have millions of billions, the only thing I have is hugs and kisses and tickles and rock and roll and some philosophy in my theories. And yeah, I've been desperate. I've been lonely. I've been depressed. I've been suicidal. I've been down and out. But now it's much better. At this day, carpe diem. And grateful, thankful. Rent's paid, electricity bills paid, got food, got coffee. And it's better here where I live now. It's better. I used to live maybe. The mold there caused the amnesia. And takes one day at a time. Healing is a constant process. And aggression, super important to channel the aggression. Because I have aggression, but I channel it. Right? I work out, I train, I exercise, I stretch. Maybe I should slap myself sometimes. A little therapy slap. Be grateful, because civilization is a privilege. We got farmers. Maybe the farmers need a massage therapy more than myself. Billionaires, millionaires finance this holiday season, Christmas. Finance them a massage therapy session instead of me. I'm gonna take a bath. I'm grateful for it. I'm good. Millionaire rappers. I rap better. In a way that I will not give to charity. If I would be millionaire, billionaire, I would definitely give, especially I would give to LGBTQ causes, women's sports leagues, women's basketball. I love it. And I would definitely give and calling for the tripling of the cheerleaders' salaries in the NFL, and stuff like that. And it's important, for women's sports league, LGBTQ causes, the environment, causes that are important for myself. Financially struggling 10,000, but got a $10,000 debt, but many of us are now struggling, many, many, many. That's why I firmly believe in my DRT, the DRT theory, the debt refusion theory. The DRT theory, which paradoxically, is an Asperger's who's obsessed about certain interests and of topics, and when I study those topics like civilizations, and when I do my workouts, fitness, 24/7 rock and roll, and philosophies, and paradoxically, my I believe in my DRT theory, financial theory, to create the UE, universal exchange unit. So DRT simply take all public and private debt, refuse it, whatever the number is across the collective North American civilization across North America, and create what I call the universal exchange unit. Since the United States dollar is still the unit of exchange of choice, we can do it in parity with the United States dollar. So take all public and private debt, refuse it, whatever that number is, that number to finance the initial money supply of this new North American Central Bank or International Central Bank, and in collaboration with NATO, NORAD, North America, and of course, like the European Union did, the creation of the euro, something similar, but with in parallel with the DRT theory, debt refusion theory, a simple theory. It's of course finances can be complex, and you got 10,000 trillions words, which sometimes it needs to be more simplified. Sometimes we need to more simple, keep it simple, and explain it that way. So take all public and private debt, refuse it, whatever the number is, that number to be the initial supply of this new currency, the UE. Here I am, $10,000 in debt, paid my rent, and financially struggling. And I had some jobs during COVID, but you know, Aspies, sometimes we struggle with chronic unemployment, or we to keep employments because of the Asperger's, until we get to understand it and to be more careful about it. And now during these past years, having accepted that yes, I'm an Aspie, and paradoxically there's some good coming out of it. My theories, due to my obsessions and my fitness, creation of my workout as an independent fitness captain, and geopolitics, because I predicted the geopolitical events which are now have been unfolding, especially during COVID. Back in 2019, I've sounded the alarm as a because geopolitics is one of my obsessions. Aspie is like Musk, perhaps his obsession is science, right? Musk supposedly an Aspie, also his obsession is science. So is my obsession geopolitics, rock and roll, fitness, sports, and spirituality, religions, if you will. So studied religions, and I have questions. I believe kind of new age. I'm a non-sectarian Telemite. I'm a non-sectarian Telemite. Wannabe Telemite. Wannabe Telemite. I wanna be Telemite. Right here in this underground room off Sun Temple. Gonna take a second cup of coffee. I'm gonna rock and roll a little bit more, but we need to switch to that French, because we in that Belle Province. So I do my bilingual videos and calling on Celine Dion, if she can, of course, to because health, wish her health. So she sings, I dance, and give some for the public works to do some shows for the teachers of the public here in Quebec. I'll have to give them something reduced cost or free of cost. Me just I do the dances on Celine Dion. Just give me some cheese, some wine, some bread. I'm gonna check, but that's another one of my dreams too. Do a show to dance on Celine Dion's music, Celine Dion performing, and me dancing as the world's greatest dancer. Who for the public works, because now they're on strike, right? There's a strike going on, and I don't know if the negotiations. There's been a second offer because the first offer was rejected, but it's super important, of course, public and the private. And myself, I do believe in that harmony, and everything that I do fundamentally is a call for a public-private partnership. We need to balance those harmony. We have to have public services and private and public. But my brothers and sisters, billionaire CEOs, give to charity. What is money to buy, sell, trade stocks? To money is fundamentally, I think, to get so complex around money and finance, but fundamentally money is to buy, sell. Fundamentally money is to buy, sell. Fundamentally money is to buy and sell. Fundamentally money is to buy and sell. That's why I believe in my DRT theory. To create the UE, right? To refuse all debt, take all debt, refuse it, public and private debt, and create the UE. So that will be the initial money supply of all the public and the private debt. It's simple. It's simple, really. Of course, there has to be mathematics and addition. So my debt would be $10,000. Then all the public debt. I just saw, I'm going to show a picture now. So there was in the news that the record-breaking debt servicing for the Canadian public debt, which many economists have sounded the alarm, is unsustainable. Unsustainable. So look at this. Ballooning debt charges. Here it says ballooning debt charges. So 2020 to 2021 was 20.3 billion. 2023, 2024, it's 46.5 billion. See? So ballooning debt charges. 2020 to 2021, 20 billion, and then it more than doubled in less than 3 years and a half. In 3 years and a half, it doubled. 2023, 2024, 46. Those are the ballooning debt charges. More than doubled. More than doubled. See? Just gonna cover this because I have there's a picture of my little tiny clit. There's a picture of my also on this, so I don't want to show. It's in erection. It's in erection. I have a scar, little scar, androgynous scar, clit, dick, clit, but you already know because I already discussed about it. There you go. So in the budget, they charged 2020 to 2021. It was 20 million, 20 billion. A billion is a thousand. A billion has 9 zeros. A billion is 1,000 million. So it went to 46. So more than double. So that, take all that debt, all the debt that it is in the trillions, refuse it. So all those trillions, Canadian dollars converted into US dollars, Mexican pesos convert them into US dollars and create the UE. Haitian gourd, like Haitian, Haiti, my brothers and sisters in Haiti, they're part of North America. Cuba, paradoxically as well. And Bahamas, create the universal exchange unit. It's not, it's a new currency based on what the US dollar is. So I'm calling on the Bank of Canada, the Federal Reserve, Bank of Mexico, Federal Reserve, Bank of Haiti, Bank of Haiti, Federal Reserve, Bank of Canada, Federal Reserve, Banco de Cuba, all across North America first, the Universal Exchange Unit, and then we can work on other projects, initiatives, transform a collective tourism, North America, public-private partnership. People who suffers from depression to go to Cuba or across Canada and vice versa, to have an integrated North American, the People's Empire, public-private partnership for the rebirth, North American defense coast to coast, to build defense satellite interconnected rockets which can intercept ICBMs coast to coast, on the coast 11, on the east coast, on the west coast 11, points of interception missiles, arrows, special arrows, satellite connected to be able to intercept missiles, 11 on the east coast, 11 on that, 3 in Canada, 3 in Mexico, and the rest in the US. 5 in the US, 3 in Canada, 3 in Mexico on each side, 11 on that side. So 3 points of interception of military installation to build new ones for the 21st century, 4 interceptions. 3 coast of Canada, cover Canada, west coast, that's the west, that's the west, that's the west. 5 USA, 3 Mexico. 3 to the east, cover the Atlantic. 5 in the US, cover the Atlantic, and the 3 covered the Mexican. My Mexican brothers and sisters, we can legalize cocaine, you know? Gotta deal with, make a North American centrist, because I'm a pro-labor, love, revolutionary centrist. I believe in the Trinity of theories to be implemented via love to create the two complementary covenant institutions. Legalize cocaine, make it standardized, sanitary, because maybe World War III started. Maybe it started now. Our Mexican brothers and sisters, for our North American children, and for the future prosperity, defense, coast to coast, can make a deal. The cartels, whatever, for the coke, let's make it legal. Now, amnesty and legalize it. Amnesty and let's legalize it. Amnesty and let's legalize it. I believe we can do it. I learned some Spanish. I made an effort during these past years, and I'm okay in Spanish. I can handle a conversation, and I consider my Mexican brothers and sisters, part of North America, as for world peace as well. But I am a North American. I'm a Quebecer Canadian North American. Fundamentally, in essence, right? As much as I can be concerned with world matters, world affairs, and as a spiritual teaching student believing in incarnations, I'm fundamentally a North American in my fundamental principles and propositions. I'm fundamentally a North American who's not perfect, far from it, who has Asperger's, and we're going to switch it to that French. But first, again, I want to say my gratitude, grateful, thankful that my rent's paid, electricity bills paid, got food. Thank you, farmers, firefighters. Love you, firefighters, butchers, bakers, nurses, doctors, grocery store clerks, all involved in the production, distribution of food, those public workers, nurses, doctors, those changing the aqueducts, public security workers. Somebody got to love that Popo 5-0 and sing for them and support the Dragan Army, the public-private partnership initiative, the creation of the Dragan Army to be for defense, security, and service, of which I've speculated, which I've dictated philosophically about, which will continue to dictate philosophically about in the coming seconds, minutes, and hours, in the coming days, weeks, and months ahead. I firmly believe for the resolution and for North American defense, coast to coast, ocean to ocean, our common collective North American defense, because we constitute a collective North American civilization. We are a collective civilization, complex in which we made the arrangements and the compromise, the great linguistic compromise with French, and we are multiracial. My black brothers and sisters, get you if you want to fight racism in any way. It's one thing that I do have, and I do want big hugs, big kisses, big rock and roll. Because we have it in us, and we made the compromise, and continue to do it. So we live in harmony here. There's no interwar in North America. If we made it, if we are to set an example in the world, we can do it as North Americans. If we are to set an example in the world, we can do it as North Americans. If we are to set an example in the world, we can do it as North Americans. Right? We can do it as North Americans. North Americans unite. It's not easy. We got tensions, internal dimensions. Sometimes I'm moody myself. My therapy is working out, training, and exercising. And I would love to have a massage therapy session, but cannot afford it. But you know what? The firefighters deserve it more. Finance the firefighters, good massages, the farmers, the butchers, the nurses. The nurses, the public nurses, finance them. The public nurses, the farmers, and the firefighters. Finance them first. I'll do okay. I'll take a bath in about an hour and a half, so I'm good to go with that. Now we're gonna switch to that French, because oui, in la belle province. Bienvenue dans la grotte du dragon arc-en-ciel. Je vous envoie l'amour, je vous encourage à faire l'entraînement physique et régulièrement, l'entraînement physique intensivement, médecine et thérapie de choix. Votre dragon arc-en-ciel, mes remerciements. Aujourd'hui, mon loyer payé, j'ai payé mon loyer, j'ai payé ma facture d'électricité, puis j'ai du café puis du thé. Et puis, je vous chante, puis je vous danse, et je vous encourage à faire de l'exercice physique, et puis, on va voir. Un petit peu de muscle du cerveau, votre dragon arc-en-ciel, artiste, athlète indépendant, philosophe avec Asperger's, qui vous fait appel ce samedi du sabbat. Oh, que je vais prendre un bain. Et je veux saluer les fermiers de la belle province du Canada, collectif de civilisation nord-américain. On est moi et vous, nous autres, Québécois et Québécoises, on est des Nord-Américains. Puis on forme un collectif de civilisation nord-américain, donc on a fait le grand compromis linguistique, mais on continue avec le français. Puis je veux remercier Hydro-Québec pour les centrales du port qui ont été bâties depuis 1940 jusqu'à maintenant. Ça a pris bien des décennies pour en construire. Je vous chante, puis je vous danse pour en construire 7 autres centrales. Dans les 7 prochaines années, grâce à l'Hydro-Québec et l'électricité qui ne pollue pas, j'ai reçu mon café. Puis j'ai payé ma facture d'électricité le mois de novembre. 1er novembre, puis 1er... Puis me payer ma facture d'électricité est payée, mon loyer est payé, puis j'ai de la nourriture, puis du café, de la gratitude. Puis c'est mieux où j'habite maintenant, où j'habitais avant. Il y avait beaucoup de moisissures, puis dans mes journaux, mes écritures, j'avais souffert de maladies chroniques. J'étais avec un pied, une jambe dans la rue, une jambe dans les bibliothèques où j'ai lu des centaines, des milliers de livres sur tous les sujets de civilisation, de science, de finance, de spiritualité, d'histoire. Puis peut-être en cause de la moisissure, là-bas où j'habitais, puis c'était peut-être ça que ça a causé l'amnésie rétrograde. C'est une condition que, l'amnésie, c'est une condition que j'ai, puis je vis avec. J'ai la difficulté à céder des mémoires qui prédatent d'une certaine date. C'est d'habitude, puis que j'ai écrit dans mes journaux que j'avais souffert d'une blessure à la tête, une épée noire, je sais pas quoi, mais bon, en tout cas, peut-être, puis c'est des questions, mais qu'est-ce que je m'en souviens plus, c'est avoir déménagé ici, puis ça a commencé à guérir. Je suis sorti de la dépression, je suis sorti d'être suicidaire. Des fois, je suis un petit peu, pas si bien 100%, mais quand je m'entraîne, puis la gratitude, puis je médite sur les fermes, je médite sur l'Hydro-Québec, je médite sur la civilisation, puis que quelqu'un se donne des câlins, qui est mon message avec consentement, donnez-vous un câlin comme jamais avant. Mon message principal a été ceci, avec consentement, donnez-vous un câlin. comme jamais avant. Puis, je suis en train de fonder le partenariat public-privé parce que fondamentalement, je fais appel pour un partenariat public-privé. Puis, je fonde la fondation de l'Empire. L'Empire soit le rêve de la déesse et du dragon qui danse. Le rêve de la déesse et du dragon qui danse. Je le fais avec des milliards de bisous. Des milliards de bisous, des chatouilles puis des câlins, je le fonde. Premier empire basé sur l'amour en action. Des bisous, j'en ai crédité par la déesse. Avec des chatouilles. Avec ça, des chatouilles. Puis des câlins. J'en ai plein. Sauf l'argent, j'en ai pas, je suis en de 10 000, mais j'ai des milliards de câlins, des milliards de bisous, des milliards de chatouilles. Avec du rock&roll, votre philosophe, artiste, aspie indépendant, qui n'est pas parfait, loin de là. Aujourd'hui, la gratitude est 2h52 p.m. Je vous encourage à faire l'entraînement physique. Puis, je suis sûr que quelqu'un fait l'amour aujourd'hui. Donc, faites l'amour double pour moi. Triple, fois 3. Je vous encourage à faire l'exercice physique et je vous fais appel tous et toutes à soutenir mon rêve qui est bien sûr pour la régénération, la défense de collectifs de sociétés nord-américains dont nous autres Québécois, Québécoises, Canadiens, Nord-Américains, on s'unit. Les Nord-Américains, on s'unit de côte à côte. Là-bas, c'est l'Est, c'est l'Atlantique. Là-bas, c'est l'Ouest, c'est le Pacifique. Et bien sûr, je fais appel pour la fondation de l'armée du dragon. L'armée du dragon. L'armée du dragon. Qui est fondamentalement un appel de partenariat public-privé qui se manifeste comme mon rêve. La déesse, le royaume du dragon et la déesse qui danse, qui est fondamentalement pour l'Amérique du Nord, puis pour la défense, puis pour le service basé sur mes philosophies en tant qu'intellectuel, artiste, athlète, philosophe indépendant, qui n'est pas parfait, hein? Loin d'être parfait, j'ai doute, des fois je suis en colère, puis je dois me nettoyer moi-même aussi. Parce que si je veux faire le nettoyage à l'extérieur, je dois me faire le nettoyage moi-même aussi. Pas facile. J'ai sorti de la dépression, j'étais dépressif, suicidaire. Quand j'ai traversé le Canada côte à côte, j'étais à la Peggy's Cove en Nouvelle-Écosse. Wow! Nouvelle-Écosse, Peggy's Cove. Je dois y aller au Rocher Gaspé aussi, puis visiter le Nord aussi, puis visiter le Canada aussi. Puis je suis sorti de la dépression, je dis waouh, tellement de choses du Canada dans mon pays que j'ai à voir. Québec, puis j'ai pas vu, puis tellement de choses à faire, à écrire des chansons rock&roll, mais je suis sorti de la dépression. Puis être suicidaire, puis j'ai accepté mon Asperger, j'ai survécu la COVID, février 2020, ça fait 44 mois, là, 3 ans et demi, plus que 3 ans et demi, 44 mois. J'étais vraiment malade, c'était comme la mort, la pestilence, puis la maladie, puis je l'ai survécu. J'ai survécu la COVID. Je dis, waouh, la COVID, je l'ai survécu. Waouh, j'étais malade. La maladie, mort et pestilence. Mais c'est important, l'hygiène en public. Je fais appel aux augmenter l'hygiène en public. Puis oui, j'ai de l'Asperger, je l'ai accepté. Je répète des choses, j'ai des gestes un peu bizarres. Je dis des fois, je suis obsédé par mes intérêts comme la géopolitique, le sport, le rock'n'roll, puis les choses de la civilisation, puis la religion. Mais c'est mes obsessions, j'ai fait des études approfondies, puis je peux en parler en détail avec sophistiqué, puis d'une manière très philosophique des choses de géopolitique, de la spiritualité, de la religion, puis du rock'n'roll. C'est mon obsession en tant qu'Aspies. Les Aspies, nous autres, on répète des choses, puis on est moins qu'1% de la population. Il y a très peu de gens qui ont l'Asperger, comme moi-même. Puis c'est pas facile. Des fois, tu sais, je fais des gestes où je me rapproche trop proche des gens. Puis dans les 7 dernières années, j'ai perdu bien des amis, mais là, dernièrement, j'accepte mon Asperger. Puis votre aspect artiste athlète qui a l'Asperger. Puis l'amnésie, c'est rétrograde, c'est spécial. C'est l'amnésie rétrograde. J'ai des mémoires des dernières années. Puis, mais je peux pas avoir accès à des mémoires d'avant. Peut-être où j'habitais, mais c'est mieux où j'habite maintenant. Où j'habitais avant, il y avait beaucoup de moisissures. Il y avait beaucoup de moisissures là-bas. C'était puis la maladie, puis j'ai survécu, puis c'était vraiment peut-être causé l'amnésie parce que accéder des mémoires avant où j'habitais avant, j'ai de la misère. Dans le fond, je me souviens de l'île de Montréal, puis je me considère québécois, canadien, nord-américain, puis je crois à la réincarnation. J'ai des écritures sur mes croyances de la réincarnation. J'étais né direct sur l'île de Montréal dans une autre vie en tant que québécois. Perlin dans cette vie-là, puis j'avais aidé Louis Cyr à pousser des chevaux sur une calèche. C'est une mémoire que j'ai eue dernièrement, il y a 6 ans, puis un flash de mémoire quand je suis allé sur la montagne, puis j'avais vu une vie, puis j'ai dit, wow, j'ai aidé Louis Cyr à pousser des chevaux sur une calèche. Peut-être pour ça que j'ai m'entraîner, je veux devenir fort comme Louis Cyr. Pas plus fort que Louis Cyr, mais fort comme Louis Cyr. Fort comme Louis Cyr. C'est une chanson que j'avais composée aussi de chanson rock&roll avant la COVID. Après ça, je l'ai fait une autre version durant la COVID, puis je peux en faire une autre version bientôt sur Fort comme lui sait. Puis je me considère québécois, canadien, nord-américain. Oui, je suis citoyen du monde, mais fondamentalement, mes études, puis qu'est-ce que je suis en tant que philosophe artiste, je suis québécois, canadien de Montréal. La meilleure ville pour moi. Puis ma deuxième maison, c'est le Mont-Royal. Je ne me considère pas un membre d'une diaspora, même si j'ai un cœur universel, puis je peux être pour la paix du monde, citoyen du monde, mais fondamentalement, je suis, en tant que philosophe, artiste, athlète, un Nord-Américain, puis j'ai ma théorie thèse qui s'appelle le collectif de civilisation nord-américain, donc nous autres Québécois et Québécoises, avec nos frères et sœurs aux États-Unis, nos cousins là-bas, puis avec les Mexicains, Haïti et Cuba. Cuba, c'est un paradoxe parce que c'est encore officiellement socialiste, marxiste, léniniste, mais je vais discuter ça, mais je fais appel pour un partenariat public-privé pour bien sûr, tout ce que je fais, c'est fondamentalement un appel à un partenariat public-privé. Puis bien sûr que mes discussions, puis mes propos, mes thèses, c'est pour vous autres, les Nord-Américains, parce que j'avais prédit en 2019 la situation géopolitique qui arrive maintenant dans le monde. J'avais fait une prédiction, puis j'ai dit, hey, j'ai sonné l'alarme, j'ai dit, l'humanité, on se dirige encore vers une troisième guerre mondiale, parce que une de mes obsessions en tant qu'Asperger, c'est la géopolitique. J'ai fait des études, j'ai étudié intense, puis la guerre froide qui a duré 44 ans, de 1947 à 1991. En décembre 25, l'Union soviétique par Gorbatchev s'est dissolue. Fait que plus que 44 ans, ça a duré la guerre froide. Là. Puis, il m'a dit des choses, puis je dis, bon, avec la nouvelle guerre économique entre les États-Unis et la Chine, puis d'autres au Moyen-Orient, puis qu'est-ce qui se passe? J'ai prédit ça. Fait que, comme un paradoxe, Puis là, je dis, c'est ça qu'il faut qu'on fasse. L'armée du dragon, ben, d'un partenariat public-privé comme solution. Je propose solution parce que c'est possible que la guerre mondiale commence, puis c'est possible qu'aujourd'hui la Chine envahisse le Taïwan, c'est possible que la guerre commence au Moyen-Orient, c'est possible. Je l'avais prédit, en longtemps, en 2019, puis oui, j'ai souffert, j'ai eu des emplois durant la COVID, mais en tant qu'Asperger's, mais je sais pas, il n'y a pas eu de continuité, juste un couple de semaines, un couple de mois, puis c'est toujours bon de dire des avertissements, des avis, puis des avertissements, puis des avis, laissez quelqu'un savoir, tu sais, laissez-moi savoir, posez-moi toutes questions, laissez-moi savoir, tu sais, c'est tout, puis je suis au service, puis je vis ma renaissance, puis la nôtre, pour le bien commun des Nord-Américains, puis oui, pour la paix mondiale, mais je ne me considère pas un membre d'une diaspora, personnellement, je ne me considère pas un membre d'une diaspora, c'est chez nous ici un membre n'est-ce pas? Puis oui, je suis pour l'union avec nos frères et sœurs, l'Occident, mais nous autres, les Nord-Américains, on a une distinction de civilisation, on forme un collectif de civilisation nord-américain qui est émergent depuis 1947, les Nord-Américains, puis on a fait le compromis du français, qu'on continue à le faire, puis on continue tous les jours, c'est pas facile des fois, mais on continue, puis on lâche pas. Puis l'entraînement physique, c'est quelqu'un qui est une autre obsession, puis je vous encourage à le faire, je me sens toujours mieux quand je m'entraîne, toujours mieux. Toujours mieux quand je m'entraîne. Et de retour, on a pris une petite pause. Pause, juste 7 minutes. Mais... Fait que, je vous invite tous et toutes à faire l'entraînement physique, à soutenir mon rêve, qui se manifeste comme le royaume de la déesse et du dragon qui danse ce soir. Le royaume de la déesse et du dragon qui danse, puis la partie du Phoenix pour l'Amérique du Nord. Puis aujourd'hui, il est 3h07 l'après-midi, je vous encourage à 25 novembre, je vous encourage à faire l'entraînement physique. C'est important d'admettre, moi aussi j'ai de l'agression, mais pour ne pas faire mal à un citoyen, je m'entraîne. Je fais de l'effort physique, je fais de l'entraînement physique, puis c'est ma médecine et thérapie de choix. Je continue à faire appel pour un partenariat public-privé pour encourager les gens, puis de faire l'entraînement physique, puis bien sûr pour saluer nos fermiers, puis la gratitude, super important, puis super important d'avoir la gratitude, de penser que de savoir, la civilisation c'est un privilège, on remercie les travailleurs publics, je viens de les voir, ils étaient dans un cercle, il y avait un peu de soleil sur eux autres, puis l'effort qu'ils font pour c'est les villes, pour qu'ils fassent de l'entraînement physique aussi, puis qu'ils se sont aimés, puis appréciés, ils changent les aqueducs, puis qui ont mis pour le hockey cette saison, puis tout ce travail-là. Puis je suis ouvert pour les affaires, puis fondamentalement, c'est un partenariat public-privé que je fais appel, puis pour soutenir mon rêve, ok, se manifeste comme le rêve du dragon, la déesse qui danse, la déesse qui danse et du dragon, pour l'empire du peuple, pour l'Amérique du Nord consumiste, puis l'implémentation de ma trinité de théorie, la sainte trinité du dragon arc-en-ciel, qu'on soit implémenté par la quatrième dimension, puis soit la théorie d'intégration citoyenne, la théorie de la réfusion de la dette, qui veut dire, signifie, qui fait appel pour prendre toute la dette publique et privée pour faire une nouvelle monnaie d'échange, l'Amérique du Nord, comme qu'ils ont fait en Europe pour l'euro, mais ça est basé sur le dollar américain qui s'appelle la unité d'échange universelle. Donc prendre toute la dette publique privée, ma dette de 10 000, faire la refusion, le total, puis créer l'unité d'échange universelle, vraiment digital. C'est pour ça que je fais appel à mon Scorpion, Bill Gates, puis Joe Biden, puis mon oncle, avec lequel je suis 50-50, des fois 70-30, des fois 90-10. Mon oncle Legault, le français, je suis là, Rock&Roll 24/24, puis la théorie de la fusion démocratique pour créer l'armée du dragon, puis que ça soit intégré de côte à côte pour le service de sécurité avec l'armée de la déesse qui danse pour l'environnement. Fait que ce samedi, je vous envoie l'amour, faites l'amour à soir, et mon message principal, puis la gratitude de votre dragon arc-en-ciel vous danse, puis je vous chante, puis je continue à philosopher, puis faites l'amour.